Hey everybody, I'm Rousseau and I do a little work here and there. I think it's about time for another episode of Research What? And this time it really kind of is a what? Because I'm talking about the same basic thing that I was going to talk about originally, but let's just get to it. By now you've seen the title, Teaching the Silhouette to Draw. But it's really more like telling the silhouette what to draw. But anyway, this is what I was going to talk about today. I am making cardstock armatures. That is, I want to make some minis, but I don't want to fiddle around with wire and stuff. So I'll stick to what I know, but yeah, come next week, I'll touch on this in a lot better detail. What's important right now is how exactly I drew this, because I didn't draw this. The Silhouette did, and it did that using the Silhouette pen holder. You can get one of these pretty cheap. I know that my Hobby Lobby location definitely has them in stock. Anyway, you get one of these and you can put a pen, or I guess a marker, or just whatever will fit inside of it. And then instead of cutting, you are drawing. So after I drew these tiny little things, I got to thinking, and then I got to wasting time, and then I got to not finishing this armature, really starting on it. So that'll have to wait. What did I do instead? Well, first I made this. So the issue with Silhouette Studio is that it doesn't know what to do with fills. Any sort of path, it can figure out just fine. There are some quirks about which path it decides to do in what order, but basically it just reads the file from beginning to end. And this was done in a few minutes in Illustrator. I'll bring up the original image, but what I did is I live traced that image in black and white, set the threshold where I liked it, made sure that I was ignoring white, as you do, and then I expanded the resulting shape. And after that I was free to use effects. There's really only one effect that is any good for this, but it's a bunch of squiggles, and I don't really want that. I don't want the lines to be connected at the end. And as a matter of fact, in a perfect world, it would just look like crosshatching. I would just have the silhouette do crosshatching. This wasn't giving me what I wanted, so I tried something else. And this is the same process with the live trace, but then you make a layer with a bunch of lines, and you use your live traced object as a clipping mask. So yeah, this is definitely better. It's more like crosshatching. I've got a couple different distances between lines, depending on the direction that they're going. But, it could still use a little bit of work. Maybe more layers of hatching, maybe different colors for the different directions. I don't know. Point is, all this got me thinking, maybe, just maybe, I could hand write a book. I mean, that's hand write in huge air quotes. But I did a bunch of research and I found what I guess you call a monoline font script for Illustrator. And I will put the link in the description for that. But the result is basically this. Which, it's readable, but only just. Which leads me to the biggest issue that I've had so far. And that's this little guy. The pen holder. Right now I have a Bic, I guess crystal. The package said extra bold, and that's the problem that I was having with the text. It says on here this is a 1.6 millimeter tip, and apparently that's just too wide for the text that I was wanting it to write. You might also notice the duct tape on here. I also put some funky foam on the inside, because otherwise the pen moves around and your lines can be less than parallel. It's really not what you want. But yeah, thoughts. I don't think anyone would actually want to print a book this way. Probably gonna try, but I'm not saying that it isn't a waste of time. That being said, I think this would be great for stuff like maps, or for little handouts or cryptic notes, but you'd have to make your own monoline fonts and things. There are ways that you could take handwriting and create a sort of monoline font out of it, but it's gonna take some time, it's gonna take some doing. Still, I gotta get back to this Palico, because it is not going to finish itself, and I'll use that as an excuse to call this the end of the video. Until next time, you've been watching Research What? On Rousseau Works, and I am Rousseau, out.